All right, everybody, welcome to another deep dive. And today we're going deep on something I know a lot of you are fascinated by AI and the future of legal billing. You guys sent in a ton of articles and expert opinions on this, so clearly it's something you're already thinking about.
It's definitely a hot topic, and for good reason.
Yeah.
We're talking about potential changes to how we value expertise, how we pay for it.
Even what work looks like in the future.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so to really wrap our heads around this, we've got to start with the system we all know, and let's be honest, kind of love to hate, the billable hour.
Ah, yes, the billable hour.
It's almost quaint now that you mention it, like something out of Mad Men, but instead of martinis, it's legal pads and, well, more legal pads. You know the deal. 6 minutes for this, 6 minutes for that, it all adds up. But AI kind of throws a wrench in that whole system, doesn't it?
It really does. And that's the paradox here. You've got research from Thomson Reuters suggesting AI could make lawyers up to 80% more efficient.
Wow, 80%.
Yeah, it's a staggering number. But the catch is, if your entire business model is built around charging for every hour you work, suddenly being 8 times faster isn't exactly a good thing.
It's like inventing a teleportation device and then realizing your whole business model is built around charging by the mile.
That's a great way to put it. And it's not just theoretical either. The ABA Journal reports that almost 40% of law firms are already shifting to alternative fee arrangements, AFAs, to deal with this very tension.
So this is really happening. Firms are already changing how they bill.
It's happening right now.
Okay, so we're past the theoretical. But before we get into those AFAs, what does this shift actually mean? This isn't just about billing codes, right? We're talking about a fundamental challenge to the labor theory of value in this field.
Absolutely. If AI can automate routine legal tasks,
Which, let's face it, a lot of legal work is routine.
right, so if that's all getting automated, the value proposition shifts away from how much time a lawyer spends on something and towards what they actually achieve for the client. The strategy, the negotiation, the unique expertise that AI can't replicate, at least not yet.
Which then leads to a really interesting question. What happens to the whole idea of billing when the very thing you're billing for time becomes almost irrelevant?
That's where these AFAs come in.
Right, the AFAs. So we're not paying for every 6 minutes anymore, but how do you pay for legal services in this brave new AI world?
Well, it's not as simple as just swapping out one billing code for another. This is about rethinking a whole value proposition of legal work.
Okay, so walk us through it. What are these mysterious AFAs?
All right, picture this. You're getting your bathroom remodeled. So with a flat fee AFA, it's like agreeing on a total project cost up front. No matter how many hours the contractor spends laying tile or installing that fancy shower head, the price is the price.
Okay, so kind of like a fixed price contract.
Exactly. And LexisNexis research actually shows that this model is already working well for those AI-driven tasks, like contract drafting. Predictable for the client, efficient for the firm. Everybody wins.
Makes sense. But bathrooms can get complicated. What if I decide, halfway through, that I need heated floors and one of those waterfall shower heads? Suddenly that fixed price doesn't seem so fixed.
And that's where capped fees can come in handy.
Capped fees.
Yeah, think of it like your cell phone plan. You've got your unlimited talk and text, but maybe there's a data cap. You know the most you'll pay each month, but there's some wiggle room built in if you go a little over 1 month. Capped fees are similar. You set that maximum fee, but there's some flexibility baked in if the case takes an unexpected turn.
Okay, so that covers those unexpected twists and turns. What other kinds of AFAs are out there?
Well, then you've got value pricing. This one's all about, value. It's like when you go to a surgeon, you're not sitting there with a stopwatch timing how long the surgery takes, are you?
Hopefully not.
Right. You're paying for their expertise and the outcome. And that's where lawyers can really set themselves apart in this AI-powered world. It's about the strategy, those creative solutions, that deep understanding of the law that AI just can't replicate yet.
So AI handles the grunt work, freeing up lawyers to focus on those high-level tasks, the real value add. And that's reflected in how they bill.
Exactly. It's about moving up the value chain, less legal technician, more legal strategist.
Which I imagine is a conversation happening way beyond the legal field. This whole idea of AI pushing us towards value-based work that's got to resonate with anyone who's ever felt stuck doing those repetitive tasks that, let's be honest, a computer could probably handle.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
This isn't just a legal story. It's a story about the future of work itself.
Okay, but let's get real for a second. If AI is doing the heavy lifting ethically, can firms really charge the same amount? It feels like there could be this disconnect between what clients are paying and the level of effort involved.
Yeah, it does feel a little like, I don't know, maybe we're pulling a fast one.
It's a valid concern, and one that legal ethicists are grappling with right now. The ABA, they actually have these model rules of professional conduct, and Rule 1.5 gets right to the heart of it. Basically, it says lawyers have to make sure their fees are reasonable and transparent.
So no more just slapping a price tag on something because that's how we've always done it.
Exactly. Attorneys need to be able to justify those fees, which gets tricky when AI is changing the very nature of legal work.
So what are we going to start seeing line items on invoices for AI assistance fee? Is that how this works? It's going to take more than just new line items on an invoice. This really calls for a whole new level of communication between lawyers and their clients. Transparency is key. Clients need to understand how AI is being used, what value it brings, and how all of that impacts what they're paying. We might even see entirely new billing categories emerge, ones that move away from just pure time spent and towards something more, well, nuanced.
Which brings us to someone who's been ahead of the curve on all this, Mitch Jackson.
Right, Mitch Jackson.
Now, for those who haven't heard of him, Mitch is a lawyer and a legal tech expert who's been a leading voice on this whole AI and legal billing issue.
And one of his main points, and he's talked about this in his LinkedIn group, his newsletter, is that this isn't about AI replacing lawyers. It's about lawyers using AI to provide better, more efficient service to their clients.
It's about adapting, embracing the new tools, and focusing on what really matters, delivering real value to the client, whether that takes 6 hours or 60 minutes. So as we come up from this deep dive, I want to hear from you. What are your takeaways? If you're a student thinking about a legal career, does any of this change your perspective? Business owners, how might you approach contracts differently in the future? Let us know.
Here's a final thought to ponder.
Yeah.
If AI does make knowledge work, all kinds of knowledge work cheaper, more efficient, does that ultimately make human expertise more valuable? Or less so? No easy answers, but it's something worth thinking about. And for those of you who want to really go deep on this, definitely check out Mitch Jackson's work. We'll have links in the show notes.
Absolutely. And that, my friend, is what the deep dive is all about. We don't just skim the surface here. We want to give you the insights, the resources you need to navigate this crazy, ever-changing world. We'll be back next week with another deep dive, completely different topic, equally fascinating. Until then, stay curious.